For a while now, the main contribution of some of my friends on the other side of the aisle have made in the fight against ISIL is to criticize this administration and me for not using the phrase radical Islam. They know who the nature of the enemy is. So there's no magic to the phrase radical Islam. It's a political talking point. It's not a strategy. And if we fall into the trap of painting all Muslims with a broad brush and imply that we are at war with an entire religion, then we are doing the terrorist work for them.
Would you ever imagine that the king of Edom would be a Muslim? Obama. That's why Obama is the president of the United States, because he's a Muslim. You see, that's where it comes from. I mean, anybody who looks at the election in 2008 of Obama, it's a miracle. It's a mess. He's a nobody from nowhere. I mean, what his claim to fame was a community organizer. I mean, therefore, he had no other job to become president of the United States. I mean, it's ludicrous. You look at it, you can't believe that Americans voted this guy in. A community organizer. Then he hangs around with the guy Reverend Wright that's lambasting America. It's unbelievable that he hangs around with terrorist guys. It's just incredible how they can vote this guy in. And he's a first-term senator. He was hardly in the Senate, most liberal of all, because the Bershom said this is what has to be, you see. So therefore, America has a Muslim as a president. And it's all part of the idea that Yishmael must grow tremendously. That's why Obama is president. So therefore, and that's what he's done. So the first thing his job is to destroy Edom. The second thing, of course, is to raise Yishmael. And that's what he's done. He has empowered the Arabs. Look what he's done to Iran. He has empowered Yishmael. Iran, right? The PLO, right? Hamas, Hezbollah. He always sides with the extremist Muslims. Even in Egypt, which is a Muslim country, he sided with Morsi, which is incredible. Is he crazy? You know, Morsi was killing the country, but Morsi is an extremist Muslim. He's part of the Muslim Brotherhood. Yeah, he sided with him as opposed to the other guy, El-Sisi. Without El-Sisi, Egypt was finished. He still sided with Morsi. This guy is a Muslim through and through that wants to side with extremist Islam or militant Islam. You see it all the time. Why? Because that's his job, is to raise Ishmael.
But my father came from a Kenyan family that includes generations of Muslims. As a boy, I spent several years in Indonesia and heard the call of the azan at the break of dawn and at the fall of dusk. And throughout history, Islam has demonstrated through words and deeds the possibilities of religious tolerance and racial equality.
In the year 622, a new religion emerged out of the Arabian Peninsula. Within a few years, Arab Muslim armies had conquered most of the Middle East. Mizrahi Jews found themselves referred to by an Arabic word, dhimmi.
A dhimmi or a dhamma, depending on the pronunciation, is a tolerated people. It's the people of the book, Christians and Jews, people who worship, practice the Bible. And according to Islam, this is a group that's supposed to be protected. What that means is, as Islam conquered the entire Middle East, North African region and killed people in the name of Islam if they would not convert, the Jews and Christians would be spared their lives. However, they always had to be both physically and metaphorically inferior. For example, a Jew could not ride a horse because then his head would be higher than that of a Muslim. Jews could not build a synagogue higher than a mosque.
All houses in Yemen, all houses in Yemen, I mean the Jewish houses, must be lower, far lower than the Muslims. If God forbid one of the houses is a little bit higher than of the Muslims, it will be pulled down.
You see, the dhimma, as I said, is juridical. It's very precise, but it has also economic, political, and social repercussions. And there are many of them. One, for example, the Jews and the Christians, by the way, had to wear special items of clothes in order to differentiate themselves. For example, the yellow patch. That's not a Nazi invention. It was invented back in the 8th century, and the Jews and the Christians were forced to wear it. The Jews and the Christians could not ride the horse, because horse is a noble animal. Only Muslim can. Jews and Christians had to ride the donkey or to walk on foot. And Jews and Christians could not build any house of prayer, new one. And even if they wanted to refurbish the old ones, they had to have a special permission. And even when they got permission, it could not be higher than the nearest mosque, in order to demonstrate exactly the point that Islam is supreme and nothing can be seen to compete with it.
When Jerusalem is a secure and lasting home for Jews and Christians and Muslims, and a place for all of the children of Abraham to mingle peacefully together, as in the story of Isra. As in the story of Isra, when Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace be upon them, joined in prayer.
There the Prophet, peace be upon him, saw a white creature, smaller than a mule, larger than a donkey, with wings on each side of its hind legs. The Prophet, peace be upon him, mounted the creature, and they took off north to Beit al-Maqdis in Jerusalem. This part of the journey is referred to as al-Isra. After dismounting the creature, the Prophet, peace be upon him, entered Al-Aqsa Mosque and prayed 2 units. He then saw the prophets Moses, Jesus, and Abraham, peace be upon them all, and was instructed to lead them in prayer.
I was driving in I-95, in Interstate 95, the biggest highway in the East Coast, between Boca Raton and Hollywood, Florida. And there were 2 giant billboards near the road. On one side it says Muhammad, Prophet of Mercy, and on the other side, what do Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad have in common? Islam. And this is freedom of speech. Means they come in some stealthy way to America to spread mercy to mankind on one side, and to spread Islam as the religion of Moses and Jesus as well. And freedom of speech is accepting them very well. Why not? Everyone can sell his merchandise. But, and this is, I would say, the majority, those who come to change America in a good way or in a peaceful way to Islamic State. And actually, the American authorities caught already in the 90s a memorandum, the explanatory memorandum of the Muslim Brotherhood, which was authored in May 1991, which explains all the methods and the ways which the Muslim Brotherhood organization is planning in order to take America over.
I am holding in my hand the Muslim Brotherhood plan for the destruction of the United States, written 5/22/1991. The title of the plan is مذكرة تفسيرية للهدف الاستراتيجي العام للجماعة في أمريكا الشمالية. You all got that? There will be a quiz. It is titled the Muslim Brotherhood, an explanatory memorandum for the general strategic goal for the group, the Muslim Brotherhood in North America, written 5/22/1991. Understanding the role of the Muslim Brother in North America. The process of settlement is a civilization jihadist process with all the word means. The Ikhwan, which is the Arabic word for brothers, must understand that their work in America is a kind of grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house by their hands and the hands of the believers so that it is eliminated and Allah's religion is made victorious over all other religions. Is this clear? They don't mince words, do they? But the most important page of this document is the last page. Because in the last page, they list 29 front Islamic organizations set up in the United States with the specific goal of sabotaging America from within and destroying America by our own hands. And I'm just going to name a few. Number 1 on the list is ISNA, Islamic Society of North America. And if you're familiar with ISNA, it's because they are now advisors to President Obama about Middle East policy. So we not only have the Fox watching the hen house, we have the Fox inside the White House dictating policy in the ear of the president.